Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This intro has been filmed after the project's finished. This is the Eventuri RS3 and you may have seen it on the channel before. If you haven't, we'll put some links up to it at previous events. Now I've got Bilal from Eventuri, who is my business partner, so we both co-own Eventuri. And we're going to talk about why this car actually exists and why we have it. So Bill, do you want to explain why we bought an RS3 and why we built it to such a level?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I think, we developed the initial RS3 intake for the facelift RS3. That was when they just were coming out. People were just doing mold, stage 1, stage 2 tunes. And we made our first intake for this car. It was good intake, worked really well, made decent gains over the stock gearbox. But then, about a year after we released, I think, people started doing some really big power builds, and I think we were the first to market with an intake for this car.
Yeah, I think we were.
Yeah, so after people started doing high power builds, the other intake companies started to bring their intakes out, and because they had the benefit of hindsight, so to speak, by seeing the higher powered versions, they brought out intakes with larger diameter tubes, you know, big filters and that sort of thing. And
then what did they say, Bill, after they did that?
Well, everyone assumed that our intake suddenly wasn't good enough, and these bigger tube intakes and all this stuff was superior. Although it's not necessarily the case, because airflow, you know, needs a smooth path, and you need to take into account the trajectory of the flow as well. Yeah. So, but anyway, cutting the story short, did I take offense? No, I don't know if I took offense. Yeah, screw it, I took offense. And so we thought, okay, fine, let's play that game. And so we bought this car specifically to develop the biggest intake I could possibly fit into the car. We retooled our filter for this car specifically. So
you want to show them the difference in house in size?
So that's the original filter, well, AirPod size, which we used for the facelift RS3 and the original intake.
Yeah.
And then when we redeveloped it, it became this.
Yeah, so I can just clarify, we have normally two filter sizes, that one and a smaller one than that.
Yeah, so this one and a smaller one.
And then we literally had to tool a whole new filter just for the intake, just for this car we bought just for this project. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, a whole new filter was designed for this housing, which is just for this car, because I got upset.
Basically. Okay, right, so basically the long and short of it is Bilal got upset because people said that his intake design wasn't working, so therefore we bought this RS3 and wanted to make it really high horsepower to show that the intake does work, and then we developed the intake to suit the big power build. So what I'm going to do now is basically talk you through what's been done to this on a base level. What I will do is put a link in the description so you can see what the actual spec is. So with the car bought, it was time to turn it into a beast and a high-powered RS3 so we could really push the limits of the intake development. To do that, we needed a solid foundation, and for that we needed to build the engine. For that purpose, we bought a spare engine, took the original one out, and then we sent that to Tim Radley at Race Developments, and he built a forged engine for us. He's very well known for these engines, got a very good reputation. So he forged the engine for us, and he also did a set of his cylinder heads on this car. With that done, it was time to put the IMS 850 kit on, and the rest of the hardware, including the CSF intercooler and also the stage 3 intake. So the engine that Tim Radley at Race Developments has built for us has been running, and we're now ready to fit the IMS 850 kit. This kit did take quite a long time to come because that area has been quite affected by CV19, but we finally got it, and hopefully we can get this on and get the car ready for the next VMAX. So what do we have in this kit? Let's start with the heart of it, which is the Zona Rotor 8267, and it's a big boy. It's a full frame turbo, so it also has the turbo manifold. Zona Rotor are quickly gaining themselves a reputation as being one of the best turbo manufacturers out there. And the reason we've gone for the IMS 850 kit from IROS is that it's the most proven kit out there in terms of the performance figures we've seen, and we've talked to quite a few owners all around the world, and they're very happy with the way the kit is performing. The name suggests that it should make 850 horsepower on a high octane setup, but we will find out shortly. That's probably based on DynoJet figures. In the UK, depending on what dyno you're using, it could be less, but let's get a kit on, set up, and then we'll know from there. But generally speaking, the kit is really high quality. I mean, that manifold is excellent. Really nice merge collector in there, which is similar to the quality we see from Super Sprint. Also comes with its own downpipe in section 1. That's the turbo inlet pipe. That's the Eventuri one next to it. So this is the first time we think that somebody is fitting one of these kits to a right-hand drive car. So we're not sure what's going to fit and what's not going to fit. We can kind of tell that this is not going to fit, and neither is that. So we're going to have to either make a hybrid or design a new pipe that works with this kit on a right-hand drive car. Also comes with an external tile wastegate, and this is all going to be controlled with the Cyvex unit. And the reason we've gone for Cyvex is that we really want to go all out on this, and we don't want the stock ECU limiting us. And our friend Romain from Cyvex is going to help us set this up once it's all completed. So let's get this kit on the car, let's get it over to the dyno, tune it, and see what power we can get out of it. So with the IMS 850 kit fitted and also the CSF intercooler, it was time to take the car for mapping. We were limited by the map sensors and the fuel pump, so we left the car at 1.6 bar, and also as far as we were comfortable pushing the fuel pump. So you drove the car at that stage at 1.6 bar.
Yeah.
At VMAX. So what was your experience
So that
like?
was my second outing at VMAX with this car. Previously it was with the 777
and stock
turbo
ECU.
and stock ECU. So yeah, the difference was day and night. At 1.6 bar we hit 202 miles per hour. It was really smooth to drive, aggressive through the RPM range. Romain did a great job at that stage. So yeah, the difference was huge.
Yeah. So with the shakedown done, it was time to fix the issue. So we fitted some new map sensors, fitted a PAG parts fuel pump, and took the car back to Romain at Race Cal so he could finish the job off. The second mapping session with Romain revealed another issue, and that was with the TCU. He started to get clutch slip at just under 2 bar, so we needed to fix the TCU issue. But at 2 bar, we did go to terminal velocity, and you want to tell us what the difference was like between driving 1.6 at VMAX and then the 2 bar?
Yeah, so we managed to fix the TCU issue literally the morning of TV, and then at TV it was really wet. So we had to kind of wait for it to dry out a little bit before I went, full send. However, when it did dry out and I went for it, it was incredible. The car pulled so aggressively. I think we hit in the half mile, even without launching it, 170 miles per hour.
Yeah, and you did a 100-200 of 5.01 without going for a run, and that was on still not full boost.
Yeah, 5.01 in pretty bad conditions, to be fair.
I'm sorry, the torque was limited at that point. It was 1.6 bar to 2 bar taper, so the torque was limited to prevent the clutch slip.
So Romain mapped the car to take into account clutch slip.
Yep.
So it wasn't aggressively coming into boost. So even with that, it was insane. The car shocked a lot of people. Getting ready for the third run. So far, haven't had a proper clean run. First run was in auto and didn't want to shift up from fourth. Second run I did manual, but maybe I was a bit impatient and went up from fourth, but didn't seem to shift quickly, so I did it again and went to fifth. So this time I need to nail it. Have to nail this one. Logging this, and also next to a GTR. Alright, Bilal, come on. Nail this. Getting hungry. Need a samosa with chutney. Okay, here we go. Yes. Nailed it. Killed the GTR as well. Totally gone. Totally. Where is he? There he is. Turn around, bro. Someone went to Applebee's. Right. I think I deserve a samosa after that. Definitely deserve a samosa. On one run in particular, I fluffed the start completely, upshifted twice, and the GTR just left me. Then I reeled him in and went past him, which was just insane. So, just finished lunch break. Back up now. Last run was good, just didn't get a log on the laptop, so we've reset that. So hopefully this time around we'll get a good log, and then we can try and see if we can make some adjustments on the delivery of power. So I wonder how much power he's running. Damn, I broke the paddle.
That looked fast, man.
No,
what?
I broke the paddle.
Huh?
I broke the paddle.
Oh shit.
Well, I don't know.
You beat that GTR
well,
anyway.
I had a bad start, really bad start.
But you overtook the GTR.
After a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a really bad start because of the bat. Oh no, whole thing just came. I was like, what? The car raised a lot of eyebrows at TV, even at that stage. It was just impressive all around.
So yeah, so the TV out of the way, running 2-bar, we'd fixed the TCU issue. It was time to go back for the 3rd time and let Romain finish the job off. So we had an absolutely great shakedown with the RS3 at terminal velocity. It managed to do a 170 in the half mile in really wet conditions. When we were at Race Cal previously, Romain couldn't map the car to its full potential because we started to get clutch slip. So we resolved that by increasing the clamping pressure inside the TCU software. Now we're back at Race Cal, so Romain can really wind up the boost and get us ready for VMAX, which is on Saturday. So last time we were here, we were making 727 at the hubs, so we're hoping for a little bit more now, pushing the boost up to 2.2, 2.3 bar. So let's see what results we can get out of it today. So we're in the dyno cell. RS3 has just been tuned by Romain at RaceCal, so I'm just going to introduce him and talk about why we chose Cyvex and him to tune the car, where we were at terminal velocity and where we are now in terms of the power. So Romain, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
It's good to finally do a project with you.
Finally.
So I've known Romain for about 11, 12 years. I think we met 2008.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so, yeah.
Because I had a Dynamics dyno, we'd just set up business, we'd been going for about a year or two, and he came with his friend to have a look at the dyno because they were looking to buy one themselves.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
And we gave them the demo on the dyno, and we've basically been talking ever since.
Yeah, ever since, yeah. We're not that close because we are based in Guildford, but yeah, when we started working together.
Yeah, so we were doing the OEM BMW ECU tuning
you
for
were
you
doing it for us,
for about 2010, for a few years. And we always joked about how come we've never worked together. So in this industry, I've got lots of friends and I always end up working on projects with them, but you kept eluding me because everything Cyvex made an ECU for, we didn't need it for our applications, and when you did, it was too late for us.
Yeah, and every new car, it's like, oh, are you doing something with the BMWs? No. And 54, it's like, oh, we don't really do anything with them, so yeah, we never really ended up doing anything together.
Yeah, so then RS3 came into our lives, and we wanted to go full out on it, and then for us, the only choice was Cyvex, not only because of the control it has, because at the time we got it, it could do things like anti-lag launch control, map switching, flex fuel, traction control, obviously very important on this platform. And Romain was working for Cyvex at the time. I thought, hey Romain, we could finally do a project together. So here we are, and it's turned into quite a good project.
Yeah, and it's a good output as well.
Yeah, so do you want to talk us through the issues we had before we came at terminal velocity, which is a red line here, so you can see that's quite a bit lower.
Yeah, so the issues that we had when we started increasing the boost, especially in the mid-range, we just starting to have a bit of clutch slip. And the TCM is very clever because as soon as you're going to see a bit of clutch slip, it's going to do a torque limitation request, then the Cyvex sees and then he pulls the timing down or fuel cut or whatever it needs to do to reduce the power. And that's normally down to the TCM or the clutches or the gearbox. Obviously on your car, stock clutches, stock gearbox, stock everything, apart from the engine. But in terms of gearbox, everything's stock, apart from the TCMs that you had, which was not made for the kind of power they were going to push. Yeah. And obviously you find limit on the dyno and then you walk with them and you push further. So we decided to just leave it like this, limit the torque. As you can see, the torque is fairly flat actually coming up with the RPM, and same with the boost. So the red one is the power and torque that you had for terminal velocity. So the boost actually started at about 1.6, 1.7, and then peaked just above 2 bar.
And then last time we went to VMAX, we were running 1.6 bar?
1.6 bar,
1.6 bar, and we did 202. 202 was it, Matt? 202 miles an hour.
202 the first time. So yeah, this time is the third time on the dyno. Yeah. The first time we had an issue with the fuel pump.
Yes.
Which was stock at the time.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so we wanted to see how far we could push it. Obviously limited very quickly with the ethanol. But yeah, 1.6 bar. Otherwise the fuel pressure was too low, and you did 202. So
now, we limited the boost to 2 bar. Now we are at 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 on the glory run. We are reaching the limit of the injectors now.
Yeah, so you're going to dial it down.
Yeah, we're probably going to turn it down to 2.3, 2.4 bar, which is still very good power anyway. That should be enough to max out the gearbox, hopefully.
So we made on the high 2.5 bar 791 at the hubs, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then when we were at 2.3 bar, which was what we're going to race with, what power we're going to make?
714.
714.
Yeah, that's this one, that's the
one
there.
Cool. Yeah, so that's what we're going to go to VMAX with.
Probably a bit more.
A bit higher than
more, yeah. The torque will be flatter. Yep. I would say.
Oh, no, sorry, 714 is what the limited one
715. I would say VMAX probably is that one.
That one, yeah. Okay.
That one. Yeah. Just, you can see it's from 1 bar less. So mid range is about 2.2, top end 2.4. Nice and flat torque curve with over 600 foot-pound from 4.5 to 7,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Then you start to drop a bit more after 7,000 RPM, but peak power is still...
So essentially we're going to VMAX with 0.7 more bar than we were.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
And we did 202.
Yeah.
So we're expecting
a bit more.
A bit more. A little bit.
Two or three.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, the main thing is obviously we know we don't have the restriction on the gearbox, so the difference, I mean there, if you just click there, but if you just look at the difference between here and there, the boost can come up much more aggressively.
Yeah.
And you can see.
It's a very, very flat option.
Yeah, it's very flat and it's just, it will pull harder. Obviously when you're at VMAX you're going to change gear around there, so it doesn't really matter, but in terms of drivability, if you was a street car being used on the street as well, the difference will be even more impressive, but the 60 to 130 should be good now.
Cool, so this is the third time, hopefully this is the last time.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but
the
car is now done and we can actually go and
well, we'll be with you on Saturday anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see for track support, so
cool.
we'll see there when we want to push it, and if we can push it further, because we might be able to run the 791.
Yeah,
you never know. If
we can try. But I can run that one to do some draggy.
Yes, just for drag it's fun. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more like VMAX is.
Yeah, obviously
very,
sustained
very
long
hard on the car. Yeah, it's the hardest thing that you can do on a car. So
yeah, thank you for all your support on this and
no
your
worries.
knowledge with the Cybex and the tuning. I think we've got a really good result. I want to thank everyone who's involved with the build. To be fair, Tim Radley's done a really good engine. IMS 850 kit from IROS, CSF with the intercooler, and of course our intake that doesn't make any power according to people.
Yeah.
It's limited to 600 horsepower, right?
Well, no, clearly. So the thing is, talking about restriction and your airbox, actually that's a very good point, because you can see that there's no restriction as of yet. If we had the fuel and if we had if we wanted to run more boost, the increase in power and boost is always there, even very little increment. If you look at the yellow and the blue, you're talking 0.1 of a bar, and you can see that 0.1 of a bar is you're picking up another 30-40 brake at the wheels every time, and you increase the boost and it's more and more and more and more. If the turbo starts to be a restriction, the intercooler starts to be a restriction, the airbox, air filter, whatever, you increase the boost and you're like, it's not happy anymore, and you can see it. You've got the data with the Cybex, which is very good. Everything is live. You can do everything instantly. If I want to change something, I can do it during the run, after the run. You can do run after run, and repeatability, as we can see there. And the airbox is nowhere near the limit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's with the scoop there on the dyno, so the car is not even moving. It will probably be even better
on the road.
On the road, sure. 100%. Which is normally what you see anyway with the Eventuri.
Yeah, we do. So if we log the car on the dyno, we look at the IATs and then compare them to the road. It's always a lot lower on the road, and sometimes the dyno may only show like say 15-20 horsepower gain, but when we do a draggy test, it can show 0.4 second difference, which realistically is more than 100%, more than that much horsepower. Yeah, cool. All right, so I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Let's see how we get on at VMAX. Hopefully we can take the RS3 record.
Would be nice.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how we go next year as well. See if we can get some more out.
Yeah, it would be if we can take it on the drag strip as well.
Yeah, I think if they do another stand-up day, that'd be good.
Yeah, because I think that'd be fast as well.
Cool. Okay,
cool. Perfect.
Socially distance, fist bump. Thanks.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you'd like to watch what YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section and we'll do our best to answer them for you.